Have you ever felt like someone you love never really left? A door slightly ajar, a room that still feels full, a soul whispering through the silence. Some presences linger, not to scare, but because they simply don't know how to leave. Not every soul crosses over right away. Some remain, caught between two worlds, tied by love, regret, or fear. In this video, we'll reveal why some souls never move on, what holds them back, and how, through unseen grace, they eventually find peace. You're watching Life After Death Unveiled, where we explore the mysteries between death and destiny. If you've ever sensed an unseen presence, this message might be exactly what your heart has been waiting to hear. Like, subscribe, and stay with us. Let's begin with a true story of a soul who didn't know she had died. Her name was Eleanor. She was 38 years old the day it happened. It was supposed to be a normal Tuesday afternoon, picking up her daughter from school, stopping by the grocery store, making dinner before sunset. But on the way home, a car ran a red light. Everything went silent. When Eleanor opened her eyes, she was still in the car, but something felt off. There were people around, flashing lights, and a strange heaviness in the air. She called out, but no one responded. Not the paramedics, not her husband, who arrived later, tears flooding his eyes. She followed them home. She sat at the dinner table. She watched them cry. But no one looked at her. Days passed, then months, then years. Yet to Eleanor, time no longer moved the same. It bent, slowed, vanished. Still, she stayed. In the house she loved, with the family she thought she could still reach. She watched her daughter grow older, blowing out candles, going to prom, crying silently at night when she thought no one could hear. Eleanor heard it all. She sat in the same chair every evening, folded the same napkins, lit the same candle, and waited. I kept setting the table for dinner. Every night, just hoping she'd sit down and notice me. That's what she would later whisper when a guide finally reached her. She didn't feel dead. She didn't look dead. She just felt unseen. For Eleanor, death didn't come with trumpets or tunnels of light. It came like a dream you don't realize you're in until you can't wake up. She stayed because she didn't know she had left. And that is how it happens for so many. Souls don't always get pulled away instantly. Sometimes they stay because they simply don't know they've died. They feel real. They feel here. But to the world around them, they've vanished. Eleanor's story is the first reason some souls become trapped. They don't realize they've crossed the threshold. They linger in the hallway between two realities, still knocking on doors that no longer open. And until something, or someone, reminds them of the truth, they wait. There is a place between this world and the next. It isn't heaven, it isn't hell, it's something else. Not a place, really, more like a state. A space suspended in time, where the soul lingers but does not live. Some call it limbo, others the veil. But to the ones trapped inside, it feels like silence with weight. It's like being stuck inside a song that never ends, but no one can hear it. Here, time folds in on itself. There are no clocks, no sunrises, only echoes. The soul moves through the same spaces, the same thoughts, again and again. It is not punishment. It is not torment. It is emptiness. The energy in this realm is low, dense, quiet, heavy, like trying to breathe underwater or speak through glass. You might feel them from time to time. A sudden chill in a warm room, footsteps on the floor above, when you're home alone. The sense that someone is watching, but no one is there. These are not tricks. They are echoes, residues, attempts to be heard by those who no longer see. You might call them ghosts, but they are not here to frighten. They are fragments of stories unfinished. They are souls, trying to remember how to be whole. To us, it feels like haunting. To them, it feels like calling for help over and over into a world that has gone deaf. This is where they stay, until something breaks the loop, until light pierces through the fog, until grace or love or awakening reaches in. And when it does, everything begins to shift. No soul is ever truly forgotten. Even the ones that linger are still being called home. But release doesn't always happen with a flash of light. Sometimes it begins with a whisper, a realization, a single shift in perception. 1. When they finally see the truth, it often begins when the soul notices something off, a mirror that shows nothing back, a reflection that doesn't move, a voice that no longer echoes. They realize, I'm not here anymore. That moment, subtle, painful, and profound, is the first crack in the illusion. The moment when confusion gives way to clarity. For some, this awakening is gentle. For others, it shatters the only world they thought was left. But from that awareness, the path opens. Second intervention from the spirit world souls are never truly alone. Even in the in-between, they are watched, held, waited for. Sometimes a guide appears, a being of light, patient, and calm. Other times, it's the soul of a loved one who has already crossed over. They don't force. They don't push. They don't drag the soul. They simply extend a hand. And in that gesture is every answer the soul was afraid to ask. No judgment, no shame, just invitation. Like a song from home that the soul had forgotten it once knew. 3. The role of the living, what we do in this world, echoes into the next. A prayer whispered through tears, a goodbye spoken softly in the dark, a moment of forgiveness, long overdue. These things matter. They become light. They become bridges. Sometimes the soul just needs to hear, it's okay, you can go now. And sometimes it's the living who must release the ones who linger, not out of anger, but out of love, because holding on too tightly can blur the path for those who are ready to move on. 4. The journey into the light. When the soul is finally ready, it doesn't walk away. It melts into something greater, not a tunnel, not a gate, but a memory, a vibration, a sense of coming home. It's not about being judged. It's about being understood. Every mistake, seen through eyes of compassion. Every wound, held by the hands of eternity. The light doesn't erase who they were. It reveals who they've always been. And in that moment, the song finally ends. Or perhaps it begins again, somewhere new. Not all souls cross over easily. Some linger, not out of defiance, but out of love. Others remain, not because they're trapped, but because they're afraid. But no matter how long they stay, every soul is still being called home. If you've ever felt a stillness that made you pause, if you've sensed a presence you couldn't explain, then maybe, just maybe, someone was waiting for your light, your prayer, your voice. You are more connected to the unseen than you realize, and sometimes the bridge between worlds is built by compassion. Have you ever had a moment that felt otherworldly? A sign, a dream, A whisper in the silence? We'd love to hear your story. Leave it in the comments. We read every one. And if this message touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe to walk with us as we continue unveiling the mysteries of the soul, of life after death, and everything in between.